Hey guys, welcome back here to another episode of Maverick here in Parkitect. Today I'm going to be building the station for the coaster. I was really nervous about this build because I didn't know 100% how this building is. I had a few reference photos, been on Google Earth, that kind of thing. Had a little look around, see what things look like. But then, there's some trees in the way, can't see everything, and some things I really didn't know how they were, and I've just had to take a educational guess, I suppose. So the exit paths and things are not really correct. I've tried to get them correct by looking at photos, but I know there's a few little mistakes, and actually along the way of this build, as you'll see today in this video, actually go in and change paths constantly. I'm constantly reworking the paths, trying to find the best solution and the best way to have these paths. Obviously this game has some limitations with it being like an isometric type grid game, and so the paths are not 100% correct. I know there's some mistakes. If you are like a local to Cedar Point and you've ridden Maverick 100 times, you'll know how these things are. I've only been to Cedar Point once. I've ridden Maverick twice, and I can't remember the exit path from the ride. I think I was just so blown away by the ride, I didn't take in the exit path or anything. I just really enjoyed the ride. So those things I'm trying to get correct. So if I are a little bit wrong, I apologize. As I go along, like I said in this build, I am going to edit little bits and keep checking, keep trying to make it look as realistic as I can and to match the original. So the station, like I said, is quite a complicated building. The bottom of the station has the launch track going through it. It has like a little stop in there, and then the train launches out of the tunnel, which is really great. Some smoke in there and everything. And then above that you have the station platform, which is actually a dual loading station, which is really, really cool. It means you can have two trains in the station at one time being loaded, and then the block break at the bottom of the lift hill will hold a train as well. So there's always trains moving through this coaster. It's really great. I don't know what the maximum train number is for this coaster. I think when I was there it was running 5 trains at once. They are quite short trains, but I don't know what the maximum capacity is for this coaster with the trains, but if anyone knows, let me know down below. But yeah, it's a really good system, but means the station is long enough to have 2 trains inside, so I've tried to accommodate that as well. And then above that you have the exit queue line, which actually passes over the final breaks before the station, and then kind of weaves its way down through the building and out somewhere. That I'm trying to figure out still, and I change it, as you see, like I said, as I go along. So yeah, that's the station, and then aside from the station there is the queue line building, which is a whole other building which I'm going to do in the next episode. That took me a long time, and again, using photos from different things I found on Google or from Google Earth, and there's a lot of trees in the way, and so I've had to try and really make out what I can see. So the station here, I'm using the Shy Guys 3 mod set. That is the wooden pieces basically, and I really love it. It's really, really great. Definitely perfect for the Maverick style and the build that I'm going for, with all the different wooden walls and the windows and everything. And then the roof pieces I'm actually using from Shy Guys 2 set. I've also got, like I said in the last episode, I have a mod installed called the Construction Anarchy, and that means basically I can take in-game vanilla pieces off the grid. And normally I don't like using this mod. It slows down my building a little bit, just because you can really move the pieces anywhere and rise them up at 0.1 increments. It takes a long time to get things all lined up and things, and so I don't really like using it that much. But I actually had it turned on in this build for the tunnel, because I wanted to take those in-game corrugated iron pieces on a half a grid. And I actually went to turn it off, and classic, I didn't turn it off. I turned off the Coaster Anarchy mod instead, and didn't realize, and I still had it installed. So some of the things took me a little bit longer, but actually worked out in the end quite well for this build, and I'll explain why in another episode. But so I'm using that mod in this, and like I said, the Shy Guys sets, which are always great. If you don't have them, I recommend them very much. They're really useful. They have a lot of pieces in them that you can really play with. And yeah, so I'm just kind of tweaking here the station and the queue line entrance. I'm going to do like a whole other building. There's going to be like a water tower also on the left, which I've seen, which I don't think I do today, but I will get around to it at some point. But if Maverick is your favourite coaster, let me know down below. It's definitely one of my favourites. It's up there as my number 1, I think. I've ridden quite a few coasters now, and it's all a bit of a blur which one's my favorite. But Maverick's really in my head as a really good coaster. I really enjoyed it. I've only ridden it twice, like I said, and I wish I could have ridden it more. I went to Cedar Point for 3 days, and on the first day I rode it once. It had a very, very, very long line. And the second day it was down all day, it was closed. And the third day I was at Cedar Point, again it had a very, very long line, so I only rode it once. But the 2 rides were good enough for me. I wish I could have ridden it a little bit more, but I'm glad I got to ride it more than once anyway. It's a really great ride, and I actually took advantage of the rest of the park because I feel like everyone was at Maverick, and so I just rode Magnum back to back because it had no line ever. So, you know, I had a really great time at Cedar Point. And Maverick is stuck in my head as one of my favourite coasters of the trip, what I did there, so I really enjoyed it. Of course, as always, I've just put a couple of screenshots at the end of this video, just showing you what I've done today. Nothing kind of finished or perfect looking, just showing you the process. So I've put a couple of screenshots at the end, just to show you what I've done. And if you've enjoyed this video, then please give me a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button if you're watching and you're not subscribed, and click that bell icon if you are subscribed, if you want to be notified when I next upload a video. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao. Stay safe.